Grimmsburg Season 2 Episode 12 is a hilarious, chaotic, and surprisingly heartfelt ride that takes the show's signature blend of absurd comedy and crime-solving to new heights. This episode, like the best of Grimmsburg, is packed with rapid-fire jokes, wild plot twists, and a cast of characters who are as dysfunctional as they are lovable. If you're a fan of animated comedies that don't take themselves too seriously, but still manage to sneak in some real emotion, this episode is a must-watch. Let's break down everything that happened, what it all means, and how the ending sets up even more madness for the future. The episode kicks off with a bang literally, as the town's criminal underworld goes on strike. The criminals union, led by Karen, is fed up with not getting a fair share of the profits from Grimmsburg's booming crime tourism industry. Karen's speech at the press conference is classic Grimmsburg, over the top, self-aware, and full of meta-humor about the economics of crime. She declares that until the city shares the wealth, all criminals are on strike, and the crowd erupts in cheers. This sets off a chain reaction that throws the entire town into chaos. The police force is furloughed, the mayor is powerless, and even the criminals are out of work. The show has a blast with this premise, poking fun at labor disputes, union politics, and the absurdity of a town that depends on crime for its economy. Detective Marvin Flute, usually the town's top cop, finds himself completely lost without his job. He's bored, restless, and desperate for something to do. His partner Kong tries to keep things light, but Flute is spiraling, injecting testosterone to grow a beard, considering joining a pickleball league, and lamenting the loss of meaning in his life. The show uses Flute's existential crisis for both laughs and genuine character development. He's always been a great detective, but without crime to solve, he's forced to confront who he is outside of his work. This theme runs throughout the episode, as other characters also struggle with their identities in a world turned upside down. Meanwhile, the criminals aren't having an easy time either. With the union on strike, they're out of work and feeling the pinch of inflation. One even jokes about not being able to afford a kill room anymore and having to get a roommate. The show's satirical take on the gig economy and the struggles of working-class criminals is both funny and surprisingly sharp. The criminals' strike also means that Flute and his colleagues are technically out of a job, but as Martinez points out, their jobs are just on pause, like mail when you go out of town or a movie being watched by a teenage boy. As the strike drags on, Flute becomes increasingly desperate. He turns to Pentos, a criminal mastermind with a flair for the dramatic, for help. Pentos proposes a wild plan. Flute should pretend to be a criminal and commit a few crimes to break the union's unity. The idea is that if the criminals think someone is scabbing, they'll turn on each other, the strike will collapse, and everything will go back to normal. Flute is hesitant at first. He's a detective, not a crook, but Pentos convinces him that sometimes you have to break the rules to restore order. This leads to a hilarious montage of Flute attempting petty crimes, from mail theft to robbing a child's birthday card, all while feeling guilty and out of his element. The show has a lot of fun with Flute's awkwardness and moral confusion, and Pentos's encouragement is both manipulative and oddly supportive. While Flute is busy playing criminal, another subplot unfolds with Martinez and Winona. They reconnect with Chamoy, a former pop star and Martinez's old bandmate, who is now under the strict control of her father Tino, acting as her conservator. The show uses this storyline to satirize real-life celebrity conservatorship, referencing Britney Spears and others, and to explore themes of jealousy, regret, and the cost of fame. Martinez and Winona realize that Chamoy's wild behavior is the result of being drugged and controlled by her father, not jealousy or mental illness. They hatch a plan to rescue her, leading to a series of slapstick mishaps, heartfelt confessions, and a final confrontation that reveals the truth about Chamoy's situation. Back on the crime front, Flute and Pentos's plan works, sort of. The criminals start turning on each other, the union drops its major demands, and the mayor agrees to negotiate an end to the strike. Flute gets what he wanted, his job back and a return to normalcy. But as he reflects on his actions, he realizes that maybe he doesn't want his old life after all. Committing crimes was easier than solving them, he admits, and he enjoyed the freedom of having no boss. Flute proposes to Pentos that they team up as a modern-day Thelma and Louise, with the genders swapped of course, and embrace a life of crime together. Pentos is touched, and for a moment it seems like Flute might actually switch sides. But things take a dark turn when Flute, caught up in the madness, decides that the only way to secure their future is to kill all the criminals at City Hall with a bomb. Pentos is horrified, pointing out that there are innocent people at the celebration, but Flute is convinced he's smarter than all the other crooks. The tension builds as they race to defuse the bomb, with Pentos revealing that every criminal always puts a kill switch on their master plan. Otherwise, where's the fun? In a classic Grimsburg twist, Flute realizes he set the timer for 2 minutes instead of 2 hours, and they have to act fast. With seconds to spare, Flute cuts the blue wire, his favorite color, and the bomb is defused. The relief is palpable, and the two share a surprisingly heartfelt moment, admitting that crime isn't as fun without each other and maybe, just maybe, they're better off as friends than as partners in crime. The episode ends with the town returning to normal. The strike is over, the police are back on the job, and everyone gathers for a celebratory concert. Martinez and Winona reflect on their adventure, realizing they've grown closer and learned to appreciate each other's strengths. Flute and Pentos, meanwhile, joke about falling in love with pickleball, the official sport of unemployment, and share a moment of genuine connection. The show wraps up with a musical number, as the characters sing about wanting everything but sex, a callback to Martinez's old band and a tongue-in-cheek nod to the show's irreverent humor. But even as the credits roll, there are hints that not everything is resolved. Flute and Pentos's friendship is stronger than ever, but the line between cop and criminal is blurrier than ever. The town of Grimsburg remains as weird and unpredictable as always, and it's clear that more adventures and more chaos are on the horizon. Grimsburg Season 2 Episode 12 is a standout episode that perfectly captures what makes the show so unique. It's fast-paced, funny, and unafraid to tackle big themes like identity, freedom, and the meaning of work, all while delivering non-stop laughs and clever satire. The writing is sharp, the voice acting is top-notch, and the animation brings the quirky world of Grimsburg to life in vivid detail. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the series, this episode is a perfect example of why Grimsburg has become a cult favorite. The ending of the episode is both satisfying and open-ended. Flute gets his job back, but he's changed by his experience. He's learned that there's more to life than work, that friendship matters, and that sometimes, breaking the rules is the only way to fix a broken system. Pentos, for his part, realizes that freedom isn't about escaping responsibility, but about finding someone who cares. The two characters' dynamic is the heart of the show, and their journey in this episode is both hilarious and surprisingly touching. For viewers, Grimsburg Season 2 Episode 12 is a reminder that even in a world as crazy as Grimsburg, there's always room for growth, redemption, and a little bit of madness. The show's blend of comedy, crime, and heart is as strong as ever, and the future looks bright for Marvin Flute and the rest of the gang.